Hi everybody, Jo here again. How are you doing? I hope you're okay and I hope today is going well. Something a little bit different. I'm going to create a tag, and what's special about this tag, what I want to share with you, is I've used some of the lovely Lavinia washi tape. I couldn't wait to use this and I've just had so much fun with it. And also I've used our Squirrel stamp. I have had a couple of ladies message me and ask me to use this. So I thought it teamed up beautifully, not only with the washi tape, but with our lovely Acorns. And as you know, I love this stamp. The berry branch, I'm just checking I get the right name because you know what I'm like. Just works so well. And I've gone for an autumnal feel. Again, you could easily change it up by using different colours. Now, the main man, the washi tape. A little tip for you, I'm just going to put this tag to one side. When you get the washi tape, this is how it comes. And again, this is just my little tip. The name is on the bottom and they're all different names. And for me, once I take the packaging off, look, the name's gone. Now, there are lots of different things you could cut this and glue it inside, but for me, I just write inside, and all I do is take one of my pens and literally just point it. Don't judge me on my writing, but I just write it so then I know the name, because you know what I'm like. Not only will I forget, but I'll call it the wrong name. So that way I can get rid of this, file it in the bin, but I know which washi tape it is, because somebody's going to ask and I'll be like, oh, I'll have to look it up. So that's my little tip. Also, I put my name in, so if I've gone to a workshop or a craft group, I know which roll is mine. It's just easy when you come to putting things away. So we're going to start with one of our lovely, now these are watercolour tags from Lavinia, and this is the large one. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp our beautiful berry branch. And for this, I'm coming in with the Pinecone. So it's the brown. And I'm only going to just add one stamp here. This is the one that once I've seen the lightning, I can't unsee it. One there. And just for a nice bit of shape, we'll have another one sort of hanging down there. And then onto that, we can add a couple of little acorns. And again, I'm going to stick with the same colour. And again, it's up to you how many of these you add. Now, a little tip, have your brown fine liner pen handy, because if it doesn't quite meet, you can then just draw that in. So I'm thinking I'll have a couple. Have we got room for a third up there? Yes, and we'll stop at 3. But I will bring in the little berry. And again, I'm staying with the same colour. And we'll just add, for extra interest, a couple of berries. Do bear in mind, if you're going to be colouring this in, how much colouring you want to do. Now, it might be you've got a lovely afternoon planned and you want to do lots of colouring. Right, I've got 4. We need a 5th one. We need another berry somewhere. Right, let's stop thinking. Right, I'm going to put it there. And then what I'm going to do on this area, I want to add some beautiful leaves. But before I do it, because I'm going to use the same colour, I'll come in with our squirrel. Now, a little tip. Use your acetate to see where exactly you want your squirrel. But also you can look at the width. You've got an idea with your washi tape. Now I am going to trim mine. You could tear it, but I've got an idea if it's sort of coming to here. So I want my squirrel about here. You can tell I go on exact science, can't you? About here. And again, what's lovely about this squirrel, it's not a stamp I see used very often. So I do urge you, if you've got the lovely little squirrel stamp, wouldn't it be lovely you could create a design? Tag me in, please. I'd love to see what you do with him. Now, he's a silhouette. So again, now this would be fabulous for our Tag Tuesday or Silhouette Sunday. So you could use it for either. Now I'm going to come in now. I had a look at my stamps and I went for these two, and these are off the red oak leaves. So again, it just gives you a chance to look at your stamps. And I wanted the colours of the leaves in the sky to almost mimic the colours on here. So I've gone for Lilac Bloom. Now I've left a couple of browns as well. But also I'm just thinking Warm Breeze. And this is a bit of an afterthought, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm rummaging in my stamps, my ink pads behind me. And I might introduce Warm Breeze to this. Because looking at the tape, I'd missed that. I'd not seen that. So let's see how we go. So I'm going to go for the larger stamp first. And I'm thinking Lilac Bloom. Let's come in with just. And we'll just stamp a few random leaves. And again, I don't want to overdo it with any particular one colour. So I'll stop there, but I am going to add some just under and around our squirrel. Most of this will be covered up, so again, don't spend too long worrying about it. It's just to give an idea that there's some there. So with the same stamp, I'll come in with Portobello and again, just add a few. And if you're worried about the stem, it's when you come in with another colour, you can always stamp over. And again, I'm trying not to do too many in any one colour because I can always come in and add more. So what I'm thinking is now I'll move to this smaller stamp and bring in this Warm Breeze. Sorry, excuse me. I don't know where that came from. I think it was probably the Warm Breeze that did it. It's all these falling leaves. Right, need a few of those at the bottom, look. Maybe just a second generation there. So last colour, I'm going to come in with Sand Dune. I think it needs just a little bit of light. I need a little bit more. If I just explain, I need some more leaves, but I don't want them too near the front. Sorry, excuse me. I just want them to look in the distance, just sort of fill these spaces, but not be very pronounced. So Sand Dune is perfect for that. She'll just, I say she, because obviously we call her Sandra Dune. She'll fill in these spaces, but because she's lighter, she sort of knocks to the distance, and it doesn't become too complicated for the eye. None of that pizza. So maybe just at either side. Yeah, I think that gives it a nice grouping, as I say, without being too heavy. If it's too heavy, it won't look right. So we'll give that a nice blot. And then come in with the moon mask. Now we can either use it as a spotlight, but I think we'll just go, we'll have the moon sort of behind the tree there. So the first colour I'm going to come in with is Sahara. And as always, just blend nicely and then gently around the whole design, we'll add some lovely Sahara. If the ink goes over the acorns, it doesn't matter because obviously I'm going to be colouring those in. It's really the idea of that moon behind that we want, and we can come right down here. We can lift that moon mask off now and just finish at the bottom. Again, I know I'm going to be covering this up, but I just want to give that idea of the colour. So if I want it any richer look, I can just come in, but do make sure all the time you do blend in that lid. Now I've got a mark there, that was a mark off the tag, but don't worry, when I put some water on there, we'll soon get rid of that. If that happens, sometimes it can just happen. I think it's them naughty pixies. We have good magic and we have that tinker magic, don't we, them naughty pixies. So I thought I'd come in with confetti now. We've got the lovely purples, so let's add some lovely pinks. And just gently, and I've gone for confetti because obviously it's a nice light pink, but just it warms up that Sahara and just goes with the whole feel of the design. And we'll go right across the moon. Just going to add a bit more there, and if I add some more that side, I want balance, add some more the opposite side. So we'll give that a quick clean. Again, keep it nice and clean. And then what I'm thinking is we'll just add some colour with our pencils. So the colours I'm coming in with, so these are my Mondeluz pencils. So I've got number 30, 131, 33 and number 9. And all I'm going to do is start, and on the lovely Acorns, add the darker colour. So the moon's there, so this side I know is going to be my darker side, and where we've got shading. So again, this at the bottom, we're going to have most shading. Now, again, you can spend ages, you can spend some lovely time doing this, and really take your time. So I'm coming in now with a lighter brown. Now you could have gone for blue tones on this, but I'm just going to add a little pink in the mix, just to bring in that warmth of the pink that we've added in the sky. So I'm coming in now with the pink. And I've left some space just because then I'm going to come in with this lighter colour, this buff colour, and actually use it to blend the whole design together. So I'm pressing on a little bit harder now. I'm very light in the beginning, but this bit, and it'll just blend and give it all that sort of almost that pinky Sahara blend colour. I don't know what we could call that. What do you think we could call a blend of confetti and Sahara? Safetti? Conara? I don't know. I'm sure you can come up with lots of ideas on that one. You could almost we could make a thing out of it, couldn't we? What do you get if you mix Sahara and confetti? So with the pink now, I'm just colouring these lovely berries, and I'm colouring these pink. And again, I'm just leaving that circle in the middle just to act as my lovely highlight. And then with the brown, just to give the branch a little bit, you see how it looks better just for colouring that in. Just doesn't look almost as wishy-washy. And like I say, you will spend longer colouring it even better. Beautiful. So before we have the washi tape, and I'm just leaning down because you know me, my pastel pencils are on the floor next to Eric. Just want to ground and add a little bit of something under our squirrel. And again, don't judge me on the bottom because it's not finished yet. This is where we're going to add the washi tape. But I just want to add a little bit underneath. And what I found is once I've added the washi tape, it's easier to just pop it straight on, not pop it on and off too many times. So I'm adding a little bit of red just to give a bit of a hint of colour with the squirrel. So we're going red squirrel here. And then just with a flesh colour, just so I've got sort of to look at, I want that cohesive design. So I'm thinking those pinky tones that we've got in the sky and in the berries. So I just want that bit of sort of pink rather than white at the minute. That's sort of what I'm thinking anyway. And again, just blending this. It's just my pastel. So I'm just blending to just start that sort of idea of shape. And it's only a little bit, but it's important. So now to the washi tape. what I've done is I've pre-cut some washi, look. Now if I just explain, it's really easy. So you can tear it, it tears beautifully. If you just want a jaggedy, you can tear a jagged edge across the top. But if you want to cut any areas out, just like I've done, a pair of scissors, look, and it literally cuts like that. It's beautiful to cut. And I tend to tear. So I would cut this, look, just like that. And it's amazing how many bits you can get cut out of your washi tape. Now for ease, I just popped mine on one of my Lavinia blocks. So what I'm going to do is take the longest one, just pop it at the bottom. But I want to add some little bits under here. So with these bits I've cut off, look, that one we just cut, I'm thinking that we can, don't need that, but I can pop that under there. And again, we will hide most of that stamping that we've done, but I don't mind that because I like that. We did that stamping purely just in case it was seen. So we've got another bit here. Don't want it too far this way. Yes, now have I got just the edge of that coming out under there? Right, let's get rid of that bit. And you will be talking to yourself like I do, look. And I think if that bit points up there, yes, I'm going to go with that. Just make sure that's stuck down there. Now, you can either fold your tape round, but I just found for me it worked better to just trim. And then all I'll do is wipe my scissors when I've finished. Pop that out of the way. And again, just give it a good rub down. But that's why we went for the colours the way we did. So, time for little finishing tricks. My fan brush is in the water pot. So I just want to add some little water splats, and I don't want to get it everywhere. So I can just come in with my brush, look, and so here, where there was that line, I can just add a few, and we can let those just, we can almost help that faux bleach a bit there. Right, happy with that. And while that's working, I can come in with my Signo uni ball. And I just want to add on the washi tape, look, we can just add some lovely highlights. So maybe on our squirrel, we can add a couple more highlights. And just catching these leaves here. And then on the acorns here, look. And then just go over the highlights that we'd left. So this we're just going to have, and this one here. Now a little tip, I just keep cleaning my nib. I find my pen works better. A few of you have asked and said your pens don't sometimes work. For me, I find if I just clean the nib on the kitchen roll, it almost reactivates it, look, and it works beautifully. Right, did we get all those? I know you shout at me if I didn't. And then what I'm going to do with my kitchen roll is just dry the faux bleaching, because I don't want it too much. I just want it to add a nice something in the background. And then finally what I do want to do is add some lovely Posca splats with the yellow. I want that nice, for me, that bright autumnal feel, and I love these. But again, if you're not keen on your little Posca splatters, just leave them off. But I think it's important just to show you, look, the washi tape takes the Posca on top and the gel pen beautifully. Going to avoid where my lovely squirrel is. Try and not get him. Now this would be lovely if you wanted to add any of your sentiment stickers. And also remember your lovely craft threads in the top, and a little tip for adding them. If you struggle, just use a piece of elastic, pop your elastic through, get your craft threads. I mean, I've just got 3 here. Pop them in and then pull it through, look. Nice and easy. And then there you've got your lovely 3 loops. She says, I can't count. Where's the third one? Come on. Behave. There you go. You know you have to talk to these things. They behave so much better if you do. And I'll trim those later. Might even add a little sentiment sticker after. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to see which one. But look how that beautiful washi tape has all gone in beautiful layers. And the colours. And don't forget, as I say, I mean, this one, a few more browns. So the one I've used is called Moonfall Whispers. And the one that I haven't used yet is called Enchanted Fall. So maybe I'll do the same thing again and go for browns and greens. Have you used the new washi tape yet? I've got another one with books on and the lovely, gorgeous Double Trouble. And that one is Book Bandits. So if you've used any of them, I'd love you to just share on social media and tag me in so I can see what you've got up to. Again, it's all about sharing ideas, but I love this layering and it sticks beautifully, look. I'm thinking some little glossy accents as well on top of that. Love it, absolutely love it. So thanks as always for popping in. I'm off now. Time for a cheeky brew and biscuit. Love and hugs from me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.